book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 5. It reads, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. All right, before I continue, let me start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach and of course where I learn this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. Alright, just want to read a couple scriptures early in the morning. Alright, getting the day going, and I'm up quite earlier, way earlier than I usually am. Alright, and I want to, get the day going right, alright? So we're going to get a lesson going, alright? Dealing with the Lord's prophets, alright? Which we, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and like-minded men on down, inspiring and hoping to be, alright? This Isaiah 49, I'm going to start at verse 1. It say, Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken ye people from far. The Lord, Yahweh Shai, had called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. Alright, so the men of the Lord were preordained before the foundation of the earth was even chosen to be men of the Lord, alright? Verse 2, it say, And he had made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft, in his quiver hath he hid me. And he said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Alright, because Yahweh shall speak through the prophets, alright. And it said, he made my mouth like a sword, because the words of Yahweh they cut. Alright, as it says right here in Hebrews chapter 4. In verse 12, it say, For the word of Yahweh power is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, alright, meaning the mind. So this truth reveals your inner person, alright? It reveals who you are, alright? And if you're wicked and you ain't for the Lord, alright, the truth is going to cut you. It's going to cut at your spirit. It's going to cut you to the point where you're going to run from it. You're not even going to want to be in the room with it, alright? You're going to want to flee from it, alright? The scripture tell you the wicked flee when no man pursue it. Alright, that's what this truth to do to a unrighteous soul, alright? But to those who can understand the truth, alright, it has the complete opposite effect, alright? You actually want to cleave to it and want more of it, alright? You desire it. Day in and day out, alright? You want to be fed more and more and more of it, alright? Hold on one second. Alright, this is Matthew 10 and 41. It say, He that receiveth the prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Alright, so if you can understand the prophets and receive the prophets, you'll receive a prophet's reward, alright, which is salvation. Alright, verse 42. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Alright. So even, the following of the 144, because those are the prophets and, teachers. Alright. But you got a 1/3 remnant, alright, which is the elect, alright, which is gonna be more. It's gonna be more of them than it is of the prophets, alright. They're gonna hear this word, cleave to this word, and they're gonna be, saved as well. Let me read that. In Isaiah 14, verse 1, it say, For the Lord Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Alright, that's the Israelite foreigners, alright. But the Lord is saying He's gonna have mercy on Jacob. All right. Okay. And then you got verse 2. It say, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. All right. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, all right? Because, all right, we're in captivity right now, all right? And we're the captive hastening to exile. We're hastening our the end of our captivity by, tearing down Babylon as frequently and as often as possible, doing everything we can to, you know, give Yahweh Shemel Shah no break until he come, no rest until he come make Israel a praise in the earth. And that starts with taking down Esau, all right, and establishing Jacob's kingdom, all right. And in our kingdom, these other nations are going to be servants, all right. They're going to be slaves in our kingdom, all right. Let me see verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made us to serve. All right, and that's the day we're looking forward to, all right? This whole chapter we're looking forward to, all right? This is a future prophecy right here. This chapter has not played itself out yet, all right? This is in the Old Testament, but these things have yet to take place, all right? We ain't been beamed up out of this land and put in our land, all right? And had them other nations be our slaves, all right? That's another way them other people that's over there in that land right now ain't the people in that land, because they don't have, even though they are they run the world, Amalek, but they don't have people in slavery the way we gonna have people in slavery, and the Lord ain't there, all right? Let me see. I'll read some more of this. Verse 4 say that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? All right, because the kings of Babylon are going to be slaves in our kingdom. All right, the pharaohs of Babylon, like Joe Biden, Donald Trump, these are low-level slaves, all right, but they're the American, pharaohs and shit. They're going to be our slaves too. But even them 1%ers like King Charles and, all them fuckers, his sons and their children, all right, the elite of E, the 1%ers, all right, they're going to be our slaves as well, all right. Verse 5, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet, they break forth into singing. All right, that's how it's going to be when Esau goes down, all right? Everybody's going to rejoice. Even the fig trees, all right? As it says right here in verse 8, yeah, the fig trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow has come up against us. Because Esau cuts down all of the forest. And, he does a whole bunch of wickedness. He turned the whole earth into a big-ass concrete jungle. All right? A big-ass Mount Seir. All right? With rock and skyscrapers and shit every fucking where. All right? Verse 9, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, and all they shall speak and say unto thee, or thou become weak as us, as weak as we, or thou become like unto us. All right, that's what all these nations are saying when they look at Esau now, all right, especially the American Edomite. All right, they say it in their heart now, but wait until we break them till they get broken all the way down. Because Esau's still in rulership right now to this day. All right, but he got a whole bunch of cracks in his armor. All right. Verse 11 it say, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right, because again, Esau is falling out of favoritism with with the world, all right? And you know what I'm saying? He was set up by Yahweh Shem Yahushua ultimately. And he had a time to reign and a time to fall, all right? He's the end of the world, meaning Eon, the reign. And Jacob is the beginning of it, the world and reign to follow. So now Esau is falling, all right? The illuminated ones, the enlightened ones, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't working like it used to, all right? You know, they sit right at the, right there with Satan, all right? But all they shit ain't working for them how it used to. Right now they starting to, you know, come down. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh Shem Yahushua power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right, Esau put himself up. All right. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right, Esau's going to come down very, very low. He's going to be the bottom base motherfucker the Lord created him to be. All right. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened out the house of his prisoners? All right. That's how all the nations are going to be looking at Esau. All right. They already look at him funny now, but you just wait until he's really exposed. All right. He's been made bare by the mouthpiece and by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, but it's going to get worse. All right. We're going to jump down. I'm going to read verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of the grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people, and the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. All right. Esau gonna be exterminated off the face of this earth eventually. All right, verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. That's what's coming your way, Esau, so-called white man. All right, but you ain't white, you red. Verse 22, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, I'm gonna cut off all the men of your nation. All right, all the women of your nation. All right, but if you can destroy and end the nation by just killing off the men. All right, because the woman brings forth seed by whatever man puts seed in her. So you can destroy a nation by just killing off all the men. All right, but the Lord gonna kill off all you Edomites. All right, and he gonna destroy your kingdom. All right, America, Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon. All right, Esau being the daughter of Babylon. All right, but that was just some, wanted to read a little bit this morning, get it going. All right, didn't have nothing drawn up. This was just a morning freestyle, impromptu, whatever you want to call it. All right, today is September the 2nd. September the 3rd, year 2023, the hopeful year. Yahweh Shem Yahushua bring all the prophecies to pass. All right, and plan on going to camp later on this evening. Abaratazar. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. All honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Hashem. Rakat Kodash, double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, teaching the course rather in this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect, Kwam Nasharala, and Boy Baba Ball. Shalom.